long, bruising primary fight which pitted his wife against the eventual nominee. It is now former President Bill Clinton who may have served up the most telling insight into Senator Barack Obama's leadership style. In our fourth story in the countdown, Senator John McCain's leadership style apparently leading him to already pre-blame somebody should he go down to defeat. At the outdoor rally in Kissimmee, Florida last night, 35,000 people in attendance. The former president campaigned for the first time alongside Obama. He pointed to the two presidential decisions made by each candidate thus far, the vice presidential pick and their responses to the financial crisis. President Clinton noted that on the latter, Senator Obama sought the advice of economists, business icons, and other political leaders, including Clinton himself.
Folks, if we have not learned anything, we have learned that we need a president who wants to understand and who can understand. Who can understand. Yes, he can. Now, wait a minute. The second thing, and this meant more to me than anything else, and I haven't cleared this with him, and he may even be mad at me for saying this so close to the election, but I know what else he said to his economic advisors. He said, tell me what the right thing to do is. What's the right thing for America? Don't tell me what's popular. You tell me what's right. I'll figure out how to sell it. That's what a president does in a crisis. What is right for America?
And though President Clinton did not say so explicitly, the comparison was obvious. Senator Pretend to Suspend My Campaign McCain had failed both of those tests. His vice presidential choice, a now rather constant thorn in his side. A pleasure to be joined tonight by the New York Times columnist Frank Rich. Good to see you in person, sir.
Good to see you.
Was that one nugget from Clinton worth the wait? I mean, the premise of the president who might, in this order, A, listen, B, contemplate, C, decide, and then D, announce to everybody.
Well, absolutely. It's not only better for the country to have someone like that, but also Clinton is astute politically. I think when we look back on when the McCain campaign started to really run downhill, it would be these two hasty decisions that were political. Sarah Palin and that incredible circus he staged in Washington where he, quote, suspended his campaign and threatened to hold his breath if there were a debate. And it was not putting the country first, it was putting politics first. But the other thing about these two decisions is that they were whimsical. He didn't vet them. Like it doesn't seem he even knows what he got with Sarah Palin. He didn't know her record. Doesn't seem to know who she is now. Maybe he's already working to forget her. But it's just sloppiness. It's like the Joe the Plumber thing today. They just can't get a two-car parade going.
There was something else in there that I thought, watching that last night from Kissimmee, that Clinton pointed out. The diversity of the crowd. It's a nice, polite way of saying something that is part of something unpleasant, I think, but true, I think. If you looked at the McCain crowds early on, it was not that darker faces were totally missing, but they were few. But there were those scattered. Yeah. If you watch now, it seems to me, and maybe I'm wildly wrong about this, almost none, and especially at the Palin events. There's a homogeneity to those crowds, and again, trying to be as nice as possible about this, but I thought it was only Clinton could get away with saying that in that way, don't you think?
I agree, and I don't think we have to be quite so nice about it. The fact is, this isn't South Africa 25 years ago. This is a major political party that is essentially all white, and the hierarchy of it is definitely all white. There hasn't been a new black Republican elected to federal office, I think, in 6 years. And so what does that tell us about the party, and how does that look to voters? I think it looks like it's the party of the last century. It looks bad. Not only is it morally bad, politically, I think it's idiotic because it's against the whole demographics of this country and where they're going.
You alluded to the Palin issue. Is a big takeaway from this election, regardless of the outcome, maybe VP picks matter more now than they used to, if not for being decisive, that they can at least set a trend of momentum going. As you pointed out, these two critical decisions by McCain seem to have reversed any motion towards a tie or leadership that he might have had in the polls.
The Palin pick is fascinating because originally it was thought to be this wild success, both by the Republican Party, by McCain, and also by the media. Now it's blown up in their face, and I think it has set a new precedent. Usually vice presidential picks don't matter much, but in this case, I think it established the template for erratic decision-making, whimsical decision-making that haunts him in everything that's happened since.
And as ye sow, so shall ye reap. I mean, we've heard diva about her, whack job, going rogue, and those are all from inside the McCain campaign. That's not me talking or you writing. Roger Simon now at Politico today is suggesting that the operative word will be scapegoat, that McCain has suddenly dawned on him it's all her fault.
As if he didn't pick her after, what, one meeting and one phone conversation and no vetting? That's preposterous, and it won't fly in the aftermath of this fiasco.
But why, as she seemed to be looking forward towards 2012 and making statements that seemed to be off the reservation relative to what the campaign wanted to do, and that was looked at as bad politics, why would McCain, why would anybody in their campaign voice aloud the idea that we're going to lose on Tuesday and here's who's at fault? Why not hold it in till Tuesday night?
I think, if the Titanic is going down, they're all just throwing each other overboard, and that's what we're seeing.
Well, I hope everybody can swim. Frank Rich of the New York Times. Great thanks.
Thank you.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Thanks.
Thanks, Frank.